Hello there, and welcome to this week's Media News with me, Gareth O'Connor. I'm going to kick things off with an ESPN ad. They do a lot of good ads with sports stars, and for 25 years they've been trying to get Michael Jordan to do one. He's always said no, until now. Kind of.
Checking in.
Your name, please?
Michael Jordan.
Oh.
Michael Jordan, 8 o'clock?
Oh.
That's me.
Oh. Oh. Man.
How you doing?
Really? Let's go.
I like that. Ignite the senses, yes indeed. Kind of a second example of this that I've seen recently, but students in America have bottled the scent of opening a new MacBook Pro. It has a certain smell, have you know. But good for those perhaps who can't afford to buy one, who want to keep remembering that smell. But it makes me wonder what will be next. Maybe a new car smell, you know. But it's the sort of thing. Remember, I showed Dunkin' Donuts coffee were pushing out the smell of their coffee as the ad ran on buses. Always interesting, but good to ignite the senses. Facebook performance is down 8%, but costs are up an average of 41% worldwide, which is pretty high. But I guess it's going the same way as Google was. More ads, so it's gone from 4 to 7 on a page. More demand, which of course drives up prices. But it does place a far greater emphasis on the continued drive for producing great engaging content, great pieces of creative, great polls, great questions, and great stories. Really got to focus on that. Speaking of monetary things, Fairfax Media is about to follow TVNZ and cut its agency commission from 20% to 10%. Will it affect the amount of budget allocated to them? Well, I certainly think in some cases it will, particularly for smaller agencies who are paid by commission and not by a fee. And as Wyban's David Walden said, when TVNZ did it, it's like taking the bread from the mouths of our children. It's coming, yes indeed it is, mobile phone tech fans. But the new S3, Samsung Galaxy S3 is coming, and it will be, well, I mean, it's going to support all the new bells and whistles. And one of that is LTE, which is long-term evolution. And it's currently the fastest technology for transferring data. So it's kind of 4G. But hopefully that will be winging its way to New Zealand soon too, because I certainly know that 2 Degrees network is kind of almost 4G ready already, which is nice. This is some nice work that was done from DDB in Australia. And this is some stuff for Volkswagen and their parking assist technology. Really nice pieces of work, but it just kind of very simply answers people's, or some people's, extreme fear of reverse parking. Here is another, and here is another one that I like very much. But it kind of reminds me of the other print work they did, which I think is great for the Volkswagen Small But Tough, which I like very much. Here's a nice use of product in an ad.
Our story begins on a cold winter's day in a country called Denmark, a kingdom far away. It was here in this land, back in 1962, a young man named John discovered something new. Small Lego bricks, a new type of toy. Legot, or play well, for every girl and every boy. His suitcase full of Lego, John set off down under. Caught 8 different flights, over mountains, through thunder. With a map and a motor car and his suitcase, of course, he drove from state to state, selling to toy stores. But the stores weren't buying. They thought he'd lost the plot. Aussie kids play outdoors, but indoors, surely not. Then a store in Parramatta said, "Show us what you got." So John made them a spaceship. They said, "We'll take the lot." Aussie kids, they loved it. Boxers walked right out the door. Word soon got around, they wanted more and more. The rest, they say, is history. A lot has changed, it's true. But kids are still the same. And John is still here too. It was 50 years ago, almost to the day, that he brought Lego bricks to Australia. So to celebrate, let's play.
Nice, you do some quite cool stuff for this. Like, for instance, this, which is very nice. So doing a lot of experience for people to enjoy Lego out and about cities of Australia. Here's another picture for you. Very nice. Love music videos and entertainment? Yes, indeed. Well, VEVO has just launched in Australia and New Zealand. They also have iPad mobile apps for pretty much all devices. But it's one of the biggest content platforms in America, so of course it just goes to show the rise, or the prolific rise of platforms that are offering content now. It does make me wonder though, what happened to Spotify? That was supposed to launch here in March, but not launched yet. This is very nice.
Hi, we're Swedish. Here at IKEA, we think you should always make the most of your space. It's at the heart of what we do. We have innovative products that fold away to nothing and offer the smartest storage solutions. But our stores are pretty big. They have to be, to fit the comfy chairs, beautiful beds, fabler crocodiles, and 2-foot bonsai trees. Still, we wanted to demonstrate our commitment to saving space, so we created the smallest IKEA store in the world, measuring just 10.5 times 8.8 centimeter. It's an entire IKEA store in a web banner. Just like our full-size stores, you can search by department, browse, and buy. Trevlig shopping. That's Swedish too.
Awesome example of a good way of using a web banner, but great, you can browse and buy. Gamification I've spoken about a lot, and of course mobile apps are nothing new, but mobile games for brands is something new. So a few brands now entering the Angry Birds territory, but why not? Everybody's bloody playing mobile games. So Mentos have Spider Swiper, PepsiCo's Brisk Iced Tea has the Brisk Saber, very much like a lightsaber. But both apps were launched in January and have been downloaded 1.5 million times. Red Bull, of course, have a wealth of wonderful content, but have also launched a Red Bull kart game, fighter game, which of course you can use with multiple phones. But that's now amongst the top 10 free apps on the App Store. Diageo for Captain Morgan, they've just launched a game called Captain's Conquest. A social game which launched a few weeks ago. But the thing is, right, if you're trying to reach millennials, consumers, it's very hard to reach them through traditional channels. They're spending so much time, of course, in the social space, but so much time playing games, be it on consoles, mobiles, tablets, laptops, social platforms. So it's a great way for some brands, if you can get it right, to engage with this audience on their own terms. And just to kind of hit on, it does work. I mean, for the Brisk example, the only thing they really did that was different was they launched a game and did a bit more in the social space, and their sales went up 35% year on year, which is pretty amazing, right? Push ads I've spoken about before, and I've also spoken about Urban Airship, but they have push notifications across more than 60,000 apps, and the first quarter of this year, they took more money than all of 2011. Now, I've covered these stats off before. 450% increase in daily app opens, 30% uptick in social sharing, but they've just released a couple of new ones. 20% increase in mobile orders, and overall push notifications led consumers to use apps 18% to 30% more. So if you're building an app, doing work with an app, make sure you use push notifications. Tequila. Yes, the guys at Tequila have just done something very nice for a great cause. You can donate to the Poppy Day Appeal via SMS. You just send them your Twitter handle and they will send you back a picture of your Twitter account with a puppy on it, which is very nice. And many people have done just this, and they've also got some really good coverage, but a great way for using social media to promote a good cause and driving donations. Very nice indeed. Showrooming, the new thing in retail and mobile. And it's not the best news for bricks and mortar, I must be honest with you. Previously, consumers would do a lot of research online, but then they would, go and buy the product in store. But during the holiday season in 2011, things have started to change. And mobiles are starting to come into play a lot more. So 52% of American adults use their phone while shopping in the holiday season to either call a friend in store to ask advice, look up the product reviews while shopping in store, or look up a product price while they were in store to compare prices. Changes are coming. But the seas are changing. Showrooming is now showing up in retail stores. What this means now is that people are more comfortable to buy things online. So they're now doing the opposite. They're looking at products in stores so they can feel them, handle them, ask them questions, and then they're going online to buy them, where they can get lower prices and better deals. Interesting, that's for you. A survey conducted in 2011 found, again this was in America, found that 39% of people who purchased a book on Amazon said they had looked at the book in a bookstore before buying it online. That's quite something, but bad news for retailers who have bricks and mortar stores. Everyone does love a hug. And this is a machine that was put in a university campus. And when you give it a hug, it very nicely gives you a can of Coke. Which is nice. But good, people like things for free, you know? It's a nice touch. But it got me thinking more of random acts of kindness. Very important, right? But if you to do something nice for a customer, it may well be you pick a few customers every month and you pay their bill for them. And you let them know. Send them a text, we paid your bill. Send them an email, we paid your bill. Or if one of your fans, and you watch what your fans are saying, one of them happens to be unhappy, you do something nice for them to make them feel better. A lot of brands have done great things with random acts of kindness. And it's just a nice thing to drive good word of mouth about your brand. Something worth thinking about. Social media, yes, it's new. It's all the rage, but really this is a sign of the importance of a balanced approach to comms. Pepsi Refresh, of course, changed the whole thing when they took all of their Super Bowl money out of traditional media, put it onto social media to do good causes and allow people to tell what good causes they should help. And of course, it pushed all of the social levers, but the business results are now in. Pepsi-Cola and Diet Pepsi had each lost about 5% of their market share in the past year. Not good news. For Pepsi-Cola alone, that represents a loss of $350 million. Add in Diet Pepsi, and you've got a loss of nearly $500 million. For the first time ever, Pepsi-Cola dropped to number 3 in the soft drink market in America, behind Coke and Diet Coke. In 2011, Pepsi's market share rose and accelerated about 8 times compared to the previous year. Not good news, but it goes to show when you do things in social, you're kind of interacting and engaging with your existing fans who already buy your product. They may well drink it 6 days a week. To get them to drink it 8 days a week is tricky. What they really need to focus on and how they grow their market is to get the one person who drinks it once a year to drink it twice a year. That's where they make their money. They need traditional media to do that. And lastly, for me, a refreshing use of a flash mob.
Excusez-moi, je cherche le chemin de la gare.
La gare, c'est très simple. Alors, vous prenez l'avenue Jean-Luc Annuel, là, qui est en face de vous, là. Et puis vous prenez la première qui est à droite.
Excusez-moi, oui, je cherche la gare.
La gare.
Oui,
Alors, vous prenez.
C'est par là, après, faut passer.
Monsieur?
Première discrimination. Ça dure depuis très longtemps.
Effectivement.
Prends un tic-tac.
Un tic-tac.